Faith Hedgepeth was a college student whose murder went unsolved for nearly a decade, even though investigators had DNA the entire time. Faith was a 19-year-old student living in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
On the morning of September 7, 2012, police were called to an apartment near the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Inside, they found Faith Hedgepeth unalived in her bedroom. Faith was a sophomore at UNC, a member of the Haliwa-Saponi tribe, and described by friends as outgoing, driven, and full of life. Nothing about that morning made sense, and from the start, the case would haunt investigators and the public for nearly a decade. Faith had spent the previous night out with friends before returning to her apartment. At some point during the early morning hours, someone entered the apartment and attacked her. There were signs of a violent struggle. What made the crime even more chilling was a cryptic handwritten note left behind. The note appeared to taunt investigators and added an eerie layer of mystery that immediately drew national attention. As news of the murder spread, media coverage exploded. Faith's case quickly became one of the most talked-about unsolved crimes in North Carolina. True crime forums, podcasts, and social media users dissected every detail, from the note to surveillance footage to Faith's relationships. The pressure on law enforcement intensified as the public demanded answers. Early in the investigation, police focused on people close to Faith. Her roommate was questioned extensively, along with friends and acquaintances who had been with her that night. Surveillance footage showing Faith shortly before her death was analyzed repeatedly. Despite the intense scrutiny, no arrests were made. For years, the case appeared to be going cold. Behind the scenes, however, investigators never stopped working. The crime scene had yielded DNA evidence, including samples collected from items inside the apartment. At the time, technology wasn't advanced enough to identify the person responsible. The DNA didn't match anyone in law enforcement databases, leaving investigators stuck in a frustrating limbo. As years passed, Faith's family continued to push for justice. Her mother became a powerful advocate, refusing to let the case be forgotten. Vigils were held, documentaries were produced, and national attention never fully faded. Faith's name became symbolic of unsolved campus crimes and the long wait many families endure for answers. Then, in 2021, nearly 9 years after Faith's death, the case took a dramatic turn. Advances in DNA technology allowed investigators to re-examine the evidence using modern forensic methods. This time, the results were different. DNA collected from the crime scene was matched to a man named Miguel Enrique Salguero Olivares, a resident of Durham, North Carolina.
According to investigators, Salguero Olivares' DNA was linked to evidence found inside Faith's apartment, including DNA recovered from a wine bottle and other items. Police obtained his DNA after a separate traffic stop and confirmed the match through forensic testing. In September 2021, he was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, along with additional charges related to sexual assault and burglary. The arrest sent shockwaves through the true crime community. For years, speculation had focused on people within Faith's inner circle. Instead, police identified a suspect who was not publicly connected to her social group. This revelation challenged many long-held theories and showed how wrong public assumptions can be. One major question remains unanswered: why Faith was targeted. As of now, prosecutors have not publicly confirmed a clear motive. Investigators have not stated whether Faith knew Salguero Olivares or how he ended up inside her apartment. What is known is that the evidence led authorities to believe he was responsible for her death, enough to formally charge him nearly a decade later. The case is still moving through the legal system, and like all criminal cases, Salguero Olivares is presumed innocent until proven guilty in court. But for Faith's family, the arrest marked a long-awaited step toward justice. After 9 years of questions, there was finally a name, a face, and accountability on the horizon. Faith Hedgepeth's story is a reminder of how long justice can take, and how persistence, advancing technology, and relentless advocacy can eventually bring answers. It's also a warning against rushing to judgment, because sometimes the truth is far more unexpected than anyone imagined. Cases like this make you wonder how many answers are still locked inside old evidence, waiting for technology to catch up. If you want more deep-dive true crime stories where justice arrives years later, subscribe, because some cases refuse to stay buried.